Dalton's father passed away, and he is with family making arrangements for funeral for his father. But he did want me to express that to you, that he was sorry he could not be here. Item 3 on the agenda is the oath of office. Mrs. Cook, you handle that, please.
I will. Good evening and congratulations to each of you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate you allowing me to give your oath of office. As I read your oath of office, please listen carefully to the oath, and when I finish, please affirm by saying I will. If you would all stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of this state, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on you as Lincoln Parish Police Jury, according to the best of your ability and understanding, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you and congratulations again. And Courtney, if they will just pass them around and get them to me in the morning, I'll record the oath, okay?
Will do. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
None of you said you wouldn't, did you? I just want to be sure. All right, everyone should have an agenda in your packet. Need a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor of approving the agenda, if you would so indicate. Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Item 5 is public comment on the agenda items. Are there any members of the public who would like to comment at this time on any of the agenda items? If you want to speak at the end of the meeting, there's a sign-up sheet on the podium over there. But is there anyone at this time who would like to comment on any of the agenda items? Any members of the public? Anyone? All right. Get into item 6, minutes of the prior meeting. You should have minutes in your packet from December 10th, 2019 meeting. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
Second.
A motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes, would you say aye? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Item 7 is the election of the 2020 officers. We'll start with president. This time I'll open the floor to accept nominations.
Mr.
for the
Chairman,
office
I'd
of
like to
president.
make a motion.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that Joe Henderson be our new president.
Second.
All right. Have a
I make a motion that all nominees cease.
Second.
All right, have a motion. Let's get a vote on the motion to close the nominations.
I move that we close the nomination.
We have a second to that, didn't we? All right, any discussion on whether or not to close the nominations? All in favor of closing the nominations, would you say aye? Aye. Any opposed? All right, since there was only one candidate, Mr. Henderson, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to the office of vice president. I'll open the floor to accept nominations for the office of vice president.
I nominate Logan Hunt.
Logan Hunt.
Second that motion.
Move nominations to cease. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to close nominations, with Logan Hunt being the only nominee. Is there any discussion on the motion to close the nominations? All in favor of closing nominations, would you say aye? Aye. Any opposed? All right, Mr. Hunt, congratulations. Let's move to the administrator. I'll open the floor to accept nomination for the office of police jury administrator.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Courtney Hall as parish administrator.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second for Courtney Hall. Any other nominations?
I move the nomination be closed.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second to close the nominations. Any discussion on the motion to close the nominations? All in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll move to the office of treasurer. I'll open the floor to accept nominations for the office of treasurer for the Lincoln Parish Police Jury.
Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we accept Holly as treasurer for the office of 2020.
Second.
All right. A motion and second for Holly. Any other nominations? Can I get a motion to close the nominations?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
All right, a motion second to close nominations. Any discussion on the motion to close the nominations? All in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. All right, with that, Ms. Henderson, I will turn the meeting over to you.
Do we bring the name tag?
Yes, please.
Right, and we move.
And then you wouldn't have to move the chair if everybody.
Yeah, leave the chair, and yeah, everybody just slide down. Everybody got a chair?
I've asked Mr. Hunt, to make an opening statement, if you will.
I want to thank you for your confidence in me as your vice president. I'm really looking forward to working with every one of you this year, and I look forward to getting a lot of things done this year.
Thank you. I want to thank the entire jury for your confidence and vote for your president of the police jury. I want to thank my wife for supporting me, everyone, my goddaughter, all of you who have called and asked that I do this and to support. Thank all of you. For you all that do not know, I'm a stickler for the rules. I'm a stickler for the law. We want to do things right, by the rules and by the law. We need to all respect each other's opinions. Just because I don't agree, don't mean I dislike you. All of us have our own opinions. I like Star Trek. Mr. Spock said something that all of us need to be mindful of. When he went into that case and Jim asked him, why did you do it? He said, because the needs of the many outweigh the wants of the few. Let us abide by that and go with the 47,000 people that need our service. So we're willing to work, we want to communicate, and we want to make sure everything is transparent. I don't like parking lot meetings. Please let everyone know, the administrator, the president, let us know what's on your mind. So when we get here, we'll know how people feel. Your opinion counts, every vote counts. But we don't want any disunity by leaving the meeting and having parking lot meetings. Let's say it here. If we have a problem, get with the person. You have a question, get with the administrator. We'll answer all the questions that we can. If when we don't know, we'll say we don't know and get back with it. Is that fair to everyone? All right, thank you. Item 8. Mr. Hall.
Okay, in your package you had some job descriptions and requirements for the 3 positions that are on your agenda. The first one is the parish administrator position, and the second one is the parish treasurer position. As you know, Holly will be leaving us in April. What I would like from the jury tonight is authorization to proceed with putting an advertisement together, getting it put out there, and beginning to set a date to accept applications.
Do we need to take them one by one, or?
You can do well, you can if you want. They're both basically going to run concurrent with each other. As far as timing. The registrar's a little bit different, but the treasurer and the administrator would like to see authorization to go ahead and start the advertising process. Receive applications, 30 days after we can get the advertisement in the paper. And then what we'll do is bring those back to the police of those candidates for both of those positions that you want to invite to an interview, however many that, you know, is out of all the applications you receive, and then at that point, we'll set up, you know, times for those interviews to be scheduled. But tonight, we just need permission to go ahead.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we, as a police jury, give Mr. Hall the authorization to begin advertising for both parish administrator and parish treasurer.
I second that.
A motion is second. We're in discussion. Any discussion before we take the vote? Ms. White?
I would like to see added to these, job descriptions, which may come later, I don't know, evaluations, for the new person coming in, that, will give us an example, or give them a guidelines on what is expected of them. Now, I'm sure that is not a part of the advertising, I know that. But before it is finalized, I would like to see an evaluation too. Evaluation for the job. Who's going to evaluate them and what the evaluation tool is.
Okay.
Shouldn't that fall upon the personnel, the committee?
It will.
That should fall.
It'll follow Mr. President. Thank you, Ms. White. Any other, comment before we take our vote? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, the next position that we are gonna look at is the registrar of voters, and you should have a pretty detailed linear process that needs to be followed. It's state law basically as to how the registrar shall be appointed, because that is an appointed position by the police jury. And so we'd like permission from the jury tonight to, same as the other two positions, get permission to publish notice of the upcoming appointment and begin to receive applications.
Mr. President, I make that motion.
Motion,
Second.
motion and second that we advertise for the position of registrar of voters for Lincoln Parish. Motion and a second. Discussion, questions? Anyone have any questions? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, is Thomas McGee here tonight? Thomas, you out there? We're going to have to postpone the, public hearing until, next meeting. Because there was an advertisement that wasn't timely run. You have to give so many days notice before that public hearing, so we'll go over that one and reschedule.
Do we table it, just move on?
Just move on. We'll get out of notice.
Item 10, appointment, Lincoln Parish Fire District number 1, Mr. Julius Summer.
Okay, he did call and say that he could not be here tonight because he had a prior obligation. I believe he's in Baton Rouge tonight. So we will postpone his appointment until next time. Just as a reminder, this will be the second time that Mr. Sumler has not been able to make the meeting, and our policy has generally been if you don't make 3 meetings, then we ask for another candidate.
Okay. And we'll notify him.
We will.
Okay. All right. Item number 11, 2020 census report, Mr. Laura Smith. Yep.
Good afternoon and evening, and thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm Dolores Wilkerson Smith, and I'm representing the 2020 census. This year, the United States will take a snapshot and will attempt to account everybody. It's going to determine our representation in Washington, D.C. It will determine the federal dollars that will flow into your community. It will determine the state dollars that will flow into your community. So it's real important that everybody get counted and that we have accurate representation. The best way to get accurate representation is to have people that look like you doing the counting. And to that end, the Census Bureau is hiring census enumerators. I've given each one of you a packet that has some information. The census enumerators are basically census counters. And in Lincoln Parish, the Census Bureau is looking for 1,100 applicants. As of today, they had about 400 and something, so they're still looking for 800 applicants. They are paying $14.50 an hour, and you can work from up to 8 hours a day to 40 hours a week. If you work 8 hours a day, that's $116. And if you work a 40-hour week, that's $580. You get paid every week. You will be working between 4 to 8 weeks. They train you. They pay you slightly less while you're being trained. The only requirements are that you have to be 18, social security number, email address, and if you're a male, you have to be registered with the Selective Service. So what we want to do is to encourage you to talk to persons in your community. Because if you have, the intent is to have you count persons in your community. And if you have persons who are hired by the Census Bureau doing the counting, you stand a better chance of having everybody counted. Last time, 10 years ago, we only had 60-some% of Lincoln Parish that got counted, which meant that that was money that Lincoln Parish did not receive. That's money that Ruston or Dubois or Grambling or Simsbury did not receive. So during the month of January, they're going to do a massive hiring. If you look at the information, you apply for the jobs online by going to 2020census.gov/jobs, and you apply online. Does anybody have any questions? If not, I thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come and present the information to you.
Ms. Fair, we can contact you individually, we can contact you for any further.
Yes, you can contact me individually, and if you don't know my number, you can call the collegiate shop in Grambling, and they'll tell you how to contact me. But my cell number is 436-9242. Thank you. I know what night it is. He said I did a good job in the short list. I know what night it is.
All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. Item number 12, Mr. Hall.
Okay, next is adjudicated property ordinance adoption. As you can see, we had 7 properties that we sold at auction last week. It was probably the most aggressive auction that I've conducted for adjudicated property since we started this process about 3 or 4 years ago. Had multiple parties in there who were bidding against each other. So as a parish, not only did we get properties back on the tax rolls, but we also did well from a financial perspective. And so what we will need to do is go through each of these. If you have any questions about the property, we'll address those as we are coming to that particular item. But we just need a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance for each of the adjudicated properties one by one.
Can we have a motion for item A?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second that we adopt the ordinance for item A. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh,
I
Mr. Russell.
have a question. Could you tell us the location on that piece of property?
The first one is on Calcote. I believe the address is 502 Calcote Avenue. It's the second lot on the north side of Calcote, on the just west of Calcote.
That's a lot and a home?
I believe it's a lot.
Lot, okay.
We voted on it. All right. Item B, and then he'll give us the description of where it's located for each one.
It's corner of Howard and Calcote. Again, it's on the south east side, right there, corner of Howard and Calcote. There's not an actual address on this one.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's full of woods, but yes. If there is a house, you can't see it.
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second that we adopt the option for item B. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, Kevin, item C.
It's the lot directly east of that lot I just talked about on Howard and Calcote. It's also in Calcote.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, question. All in favor of adopting ordinance for item C. All opposed. Kevin D.
It's on Rogers Road. It's 575 Rogers Road. It's just north of Hannah.
A motion and second, Governor got real active, didn't he?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second that we adopt the ordinance for item B. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Item E.
This is also in Calcote. It's on the right at the end of the north side of Calvin Street. Calvin Road.
I motion for that ordinance.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Item L,
Highest bid of the day, it was on the corner of Ada and Pine Street. There's no address again, it's first lot.
we have
What
a
size is that lot?
It's about an acre.
motion.
It's right there on that, off the service road, and we believe that's what.
It's the front, the south service road.
Correct.
Yeah.
In between Track Drive and so.
The taxes due on that property was $6,750, and that's what it bid up to. That was the most aggressive bid we had of the day.
It's about 41 bids apiece, from two people.
41 B,
41 apiece
people.
between two people.
Oh.
So it was about 82 apiece, 82
41
total.
times. Somebody raised the hand.
two people built, bid 41. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
A motion is second, that we adopt the ordinance for item F. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Kevin G.
Calcode again, it's 402 Calcode. It's the second lot on the north side, just west of Baldwin.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Ms. Hall, item 13.
Before we leave, just for your information, the parish profited approximately, and we don't really want to say profit, our net revenue from these transactions was $56,700. That's after the taxes are paid.
Then it go back on the future tax.
Right.
Resolution number 13.
Okay, the next item is the election has been called by the Fire District Commission. The police jury now has to, authorize an election to be held in order for that to be considered by the voters. I know, we've got several members of the Fire District Commission here. Richard, you're on the commission. Do you want to say anything?
Well, this is a renewal of the structure fee, which is $72 a year for the structure that the fire district assesses for the structures in the parish that were built. And this is the third time, I think, to do that. And we're asking the commission now to vote to ask the jury to approve having that election made tonight. This brings in about $645,000, which is about half of our budget. Any questions? I'll try to answer.
I'd like to make that motion that we recommend that election.
Second.
A motion is second, any discussion before we vote?
Can I say one other thing? We appreciate any of your support out in the parish, and if you have any questions during the time between now and then, feel free to contact me or Chief Reynolds or any of the other board members.
If people know that it's not a new tax, it's
Not
a
a new
renewal.
tax, not increased, it's the same as it was, exactly the same.
A motion is second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Item D.
Okay, the next one is, most of you know Diana Stone, the registrar of voters, retired effective December 31st, 2019. And so, in her honor and for her public service, we would like to do a resolution. She couldn't be here tonight because I think she had shoulder surgery. But you should have a copy of the resolution that we would like to pass on her behalf tonight.
I'll make a motion that we pass that resolution. Second that motion.
A motion is second, so we pass the resolution recognizing Ms. Diana Stone as registered voter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Item number 14, Mr. Hall.
Okay, if you remember, last year in November, we had taken bids on the Eubanks Road Bridge project. We had 3 bids submitted, I believe, but all had errors, on them, and so they had to be rejected. We had to rebid it in December. So that's why we're bringing this back to you so early, trying to get it on the agenda, because we're already kind of behind the curve. So once the project was rebid, the original low bidder remained the same. Ben Allen Incorporated, on your tab sheet, you can see that it's gonna be $305,202. That was the lowest bid out of the 3, and we recommend we award that to Ben Allen.
I'll make that motion to award it to the lowest bidder.
Second.
A motion is second that we award it to the lowest bidder. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
What was the name of the construction company now?
Ben Allen Inc.,
Where they're out of?
Farmerville, I believe. or West Monroe, I'm sorry.
Item number, 15, Q2, quick fill, is someone here?
Yes.
Yeah, we have Christy Lumpkin, the economic coordinator for the city of Ruston. I know we have Bill Carter, city attorney, and I think we have some representatives here from Quick Trip. Just to give you a little backstory, you know, Quick Trip has already been to the Library Board of Control and presented this proposal in an effort to make sure that they were on board. They have acknowledged that they are agreeable to declaring this property, which you should have a plat of in your packet, as surplus. It wouldn't affect their operations, you know, too severely, but that it would be good to be able to get a good neighbor and provide for some economic development with Quick Trip. So with that, I'll turn it over to you guys.
Okay, well, I'm Mike Potter. I am real estate manager with Quick Trip. I do site selection and acquisition throughout Texas and Louisiana. This is Brian Waxler.
I assist Mike and Quick Trip with site selection in various markets that they need help with. I've been working on this here Ruston site for a while now.
So, we might hold this, Brian. Make sure I have it the right way up.
I-20 Service Road is on the bottom. We're just on the south side between Yen and Trenton Street, right in front of the light.
Okay, so this is, of course, as I'm sure you all know, the area where the tornado went through. There was two old, smaller C-stores that were there before. I believe one had closed, and then the other one was affected by the tornado. In your packets, you'll see on the top page is some highlighted information, just some facts about Quick Trip. Just so you all know, I was warned about a game that is going on tonight, so certainly aware of that, and do not want to affect everybody's timeline tonight. With that said, certainly happy to answer any questions about Quick Trip. Been with the company for 6 years. Started working in the actual store, in a store in Fort Worth, Texas. Privately held company, so we're not a franchisee. All stores are run the same, whether they're in Fort Worth, Dallas, Atlanta, or if we're lucky enough to be here in Ruston. Been very, very excited to try and find a way to be in your community. I spent the last year and a half potentially chasing different properties around town, and we're lucky enough to get the two pieces of property at this intersection under contract. When we did go out to do survey on those two pieces of property, we were surprised to find, excuse me, that the property on the east side was a little bit smaller than we anticipated. We did know going in that the property on the west side had some parking adjacent to the old oil change place. We did know that we were going to have to contact the library, which led us to your group to see if we could work out a deal to purchase that parking to make it work.
Have we had an appraisal done on that piece of property?
We have not yet.
How much land are we talking about?
Okay, so if you look at, not this exhibit, but if you flip to the exhibit behind, you'll see the different pieces of property that it would take for you all to put up to public bid to make to have this work for us. You're probably thinking, okay, there was two C stores on this before. Why can't Quick Trip make this work with the property as it sits today? Those two C stores probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 to max 1,500 square foot apiece. Very, very small footprint. Our stores that we build are 4,800 square feet inside the store, and so that's our minimum store dimension that we would build, that we're able to build. We do have DOT approval as of the design that you see here, and I think that's anything else to add. I think that's a lot of. We've been to the library library board twice, had lots of great questions from that group. I think for time savings, I'd like to open it up to the group to see what questions you want.
I'd like to hear from the library board. A representative.
Okay. We can get them to come to the meeting. They did send me a letter Friday, which we didn't have time to get in your packet, from the librarian on behalf of the board, saying that they were behind this.
They were in favor of it,
In
okay.
favor of it, yeah.
What, exactly, how much land are you talking about going to purchase?
Okay, so, there are, most of the land is on the north side of Pine. Pine is a little bit of an L-shaped road. The exact square footages off the top of my head, I do not have that information in front of me. It's somewhere in the neighborhood, if you combine them all, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 square feet. Yes, approximately. It's approximately, yes. Now that is split up. It is, 3,000, and this is much smaller. Yeah, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 square feet. Apologize for not having that.
But it's 27 parking spots of the library, right?
That is correct. The majority of those would come on this parking that is on the north side of Pine. 4 parking stalls would be changed on the south side through reconfiguring of islands. That is part of the parking that's attached to their current parking. But they're all technically part of the library's current parking.
But a total of 27 spots would become your property.
It would, absolutely, yes. Now, it would, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would go out to public bid, we would then have to bid.
Yeah.
But if our development were to go through, that would be our intent, is to take those and convert, reconfigure those lots for our development.
What would happen to the funds that might come in from that?
That's what I want.
They would go back to the library, I would think, in the library
Okay.
fund, yes.
I just want that made public.
Any comment from the library board members?
Good evening, I'm Augusta Clark, the chairperson of the library board. Unfortunately, I have not been in the presence of the meetings because I've been out of town taking care of an ill relative. However, they've kept me posted on this, and I think from the standing, it's about not even a half of an acre, about 0.34, if I'm not mistaken, that little spot that's there.
Yes, it's less than half an acre,
It's
much
less than
less than
half.
half. It's, an acre's 43,560, it's like a little bit less than 10,000 square feet. So
We
less
are
than a
in
quarter.
support of that because we do want some good neighbors, even though we're gonna be losing some of those spaces that we talked about. Thinking that maybe it would not be at the time that we would really need it, because sometimes the events that would happen in the event center, would be the time that people won't really need that. So we are in support of you, and we're hoping that you will continue to be some good neighbors for us.
Thank you very much. I wish we would have had the chance to meet during the library board meetings.
Any other questions for me? TJ?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I said that wrong.
We do, yes, we do. We tell, whatever the city and government ordinance would allow, that's what we would tell.
Any other questions from the jury? There's no action tonight, they were just informing us.
Well, I would like to thank everybody for your time. I really appreciate it. Been wildly impressed with everybody in your community. I do a lot of traveling for this job. And between the library board, city staff, economic development, everybody has been fantastic to work with.
What is your timeline for getting to know whether or not?
Okay, so we have 2 contracts on the old C-stores. We would hope to have a decision of whether this is going out to public bid by the end of February. That's really contractually when we need to make a decision financially to close on the properties, whether we have this additional property secured or not. We just need to know that it's going to be an opportunity for us to do that. We do not have the time contractually to wait until we were able to complete the bid process, the appraisal and bid and that sort of thing.
We think we can have our appraisal done and have it on the next agenda.
Okay, fantastic.
Do you need a motion to move forward and order an appraisal?
Yeah, if I could get a motion,
Yeah.
that would be good.
Thank you, Mr. Russell.
I so move that you would order appraisal. Second.
Motion and second, that we move forward, authorize Mr. Hall to order an appraisal, for the said property. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you.
Go LSU.
Thank you.
Yes, Lord.
Okay, we have a lot of ground to cover, there's 17 pages in the budget to actual report.
Don't do that.
No, nine.
There are 17 pages, but I don't intend to go through line item by line item. These are the statements as they are on Wednesday. They are not complete and final for December. They won't be complete and final until the audit's complete. The audit firm is William R. Posey out of Monroe, and he's been doing the audit for several years. Field work should begin in March or April, with the report due by June 30th of 2019. Known items that we have not yet booked are the interest, income, revenue, because we had not gotten all of the investment reports until today. We have not booked some adjustments for expense accruals that will come through mostly in January, but probably a little bit in February, and some revenue. We have booked the ad valorem tax estimates and the state revenue share in lieu of tax. From a severance tax standpoint, I looked today and the website has not been updated yet with December severance tax collection, so we're still sitting at a negative $16 million position, so that's still an impact in 2020. Most of our line items are in line with the revised budget that was adopted in November and December. If anybody has any questions, I will be happy to try to answer them.
Since this is a big item in our budget based on what happened last year, you said we're at a negative 16 million.
Correct.
What do we have to get to in order to start receiving money again? Just for everybody.
Net zero.
Net zero.
Once the deficit has been covered, then we'll begin to receive the severance tax collections on the oil and gas as we have in the past.
For 17, do you remember how much we received?
Oil and gas in 17 was about $1,050,000, and in 18 it was about $1,700,000, I believe.
And it's down now, so we got a while to go.
We have a while to go.
We wipe out 16 million.
Yeah. But we're down from better, it was 24 million at one point.
Yeah. Any questions on the budget with Holly? And we'll get into that, with some more things coming up.
If anything, I mean, to echo what Courtney said earlier, if anybody has any questions about the financials, don't hesitate to give me a call. My office door is open, phone lines work, and I'll be happy to try to answer anything that you guys have. I do want to remind you, if you are traveling next week, or later this week, I don't remember which it was, to the new juror orientation, you will need, and you're staying overnight, you will need a hotel tax exemption form, which you should have had in your packet. That will exempt your room bill from the state taxes. And, if you have any questions about expense reports, let me know, and I will help you with forms for that when you return.
Any questions on that? Item number 17.
Okay, as part of our appointment policy, we make an announcement of upcoming board vacancies. We have two listed. Waterworks District number 1 has an opening because of a resignation. And Greater Ward 1 Waterworks District, Mr. Butler Hampton is retiring, so there'll be an opening there. We'll have a personnel committee meeting next month to look at candidates for those positions.
Item number 18.
No travel at this time other than the newly elected jury conference Thursday. Under reports, I just want to remind all newly elected jurors, so that's everybody here, you need to complete your ethics training within 90 days. You can't wait for the whole year to get that done. So you will have an opportunity, those of you that go Thursday, to get that done. And then those of you that attend the state meeting in February, there will be opportunities for you to get that done.
And those of us that were re-elected, I was
Still-
already in.
Yeah, you're basically, a newly elected official, so to speak, even though you're an incumbent, so you still have to get that training within 90 days.
So, we took that training, I took it in December.
You have to do it again.
That's what I was just supposed to say.
Yeah.
You took it in December.
You will,
Not do it
yeah.
again.
I think they're gonna have, I looked at the course seminar for Thursday, I think they're gonna have it there. They're gonna repeat that at the state convention, so that you'll have plenty of opportunities to get well acquainted with it again.
Any comments, any other report?
Just very thankful that we kind of dodged the bullet Friday night and
Yeah.
very, very well prepared and ready for that incident. Other than that, no word of it.
Any correspondence?
No, sir.
Any public comment?
Somebody,
Is anyone else going? Keep that.
thank you, man.
No problem. Earlier, I recognized, I did see Joe Junior over there. So I thank my son and namesake for being disappointed. Amen. I would like for each juror, to send me an email, of what your committee interest is, your area of expertise, in your total field of endeavor, so I can have an idea on how we need to populate the committees. So if you all would get that to me, I think everybody have my email. If not, Ms. Hall, Devin, Ms. Holly will get that to you. But I need to know what your interest is, what committee you're interested in on, and what you're concerned, so we can populate the committees, based on, your expertise and so forth. So if y'all get that to me as soon as you can, and we can get the new committees, out. Thank you.
I got everybody's oath of office forms, turn them in, we'll make sure they get filed.
All right, we're gonna start with, Ms. Pulley, we're gonna go around, comments.
I appreciate this opportunity and I look forward to next year.
All right, Ms. Rice.
I'm good. I think everything went well tonight. Looking forward to working with each other.
TJ.
I'm excited for moving forward, and I appreciate everybody's support.
Thank you, Ms. Hunter.
Well, I'm glad to be here now. Really thank you all for this today.
Ms. White.
Same thing, glad to be re-elected. My mission will be the same, but I'm gonna be very cooperative this year.
I'm excited about working with everyone else.
Thank you. Ms. Annie?
It's a pleasure to welcome all the new jurors aboard. Looking forward to working with you all as well as the incumbents and moving the parish forward as a whole, not just one district, not just one area. We have to grow the parish as a whole.
I'm looking forward for the next 4 years of all of us working more closely together. And I appreciate all of my constituents that vote for me.
I'm thankful for this opportunity and prayerfully we can do well together.
I think we're gonna have a good 2020 with all of us working together, and we're here to solve the problems together. And I thank God for this opportunity for each other. Any comment from anyone in the public? I know we just did that, but anyone else? We got people behind us that we might not can see.
Hey, we have the mother of one of the jurors.
What?
I'm really excited. I've never felt better about working with you.
I get you this first time.